This is Cowboy Jim with AAA Painting. I was just trying to do a video here of a large project we just got finished for the interior for this customer here in November, December of 2018. You'll see here this window seat that we redid. This was previously oak, and we didn't have a really good way to do this in one full piece. There's just nothing manufactured that would work well. So we actually came up with a 8-foot piece of melamine, then I framed it in with some other pieces of PVC material, made this look like a really nice window seat, and then we coated it with a really strong coat of what they call Scuffex paint by Benjamin Moore, which we've used throughout the entire house, where we've replaced all of the previous oak baseboard trim, window casings, and door frames and doors. Of course, we put in all new doors. I believe there was 23. This front door was previously an oak finish door, stained. We did the best we could to strip it down. We put on a very strong bonding primer coat called Sticks, which really sticks. And we've actually coated that door actually a couple times. That was a little problematic, but we've got it to work, and it is a very, very durable coat now. Scuffex, you virtually cannot chip or peel or scuff. It's pretty incredible stuff. I've never seen anything made like it before. You'll see more of our work here in the dining room, where we've redone all the baseboards throughout, the window casings, and so forth. We also had a transition door here that goes from the kitchen to the dining room. This was previously oak finished as well. We put on new casings, sanded down the frame, and primed and painted this whole thing here. So this looks a lot better than it did. In the window here, and in this other part of the kitchen, we had to work around the tile, but we actually were pretty gentle with it. We had one little ding here, which is going to be fixed right at the base of the window trim and the top of the tile. But it's actually a piece of tile that just grabbed onto the previous casing and pulled the piece up. So we are going to get that fixed, not a problem. And again, you can see this side of the casing as we just try to scroll that around and make that look pretty consistent with the rest of the house. The customer here chose for us to use wider pieces of MDF material for the tops of all door frames, and we went with our 2.5-3-inch version for all windows. These windows were replaced just prior to us getting in here by another company. They opted for some high-end vinyl windows. This top one was really problematic because of the way it's set in, so we had to kind of manufacture some jamb extensions. To do all that took us about a half a day to get all that to look the way that it does. Otherwise, you'd see this big gap around the window, but we were able to figure out a way to extend all of that. You'll see some more of the doors that we've installed and painted, of course. They picked a really nice hardware set, so I really like what they chose there. It looks very, very contemporary, very much matches what they have going throughout the kitchen. In the general style of things. And back in the back, we can't really see this yet because they're currently installing tile. We're going to go ahead and finish out the baseboards here in a couple of days, but right now we do have all the doors installed. We put some new hardware and painted their garage man door, and we'll be doing the laundry room and this closet here once the tile guy is finished up in here. We have a really big part of this project that took us about 3 days to do. It's not something I generally recommend we do, but we did it. This banister going all the way up the staircase here. This was again all oak all the way up, and it would have been very expensive to replace the whole thing, but we went ahead and sanded all that down by hand, most of it. We also used a deglossing agent, and we installed some more of the casing on the underside pieces there. We put the Sticks primer coat on there, and of course painted it. And this stuff truly, truly is amazing. I can sit here with my hand and I can rub and rub and rub and hit it hard with my ring Not a ding, not a dent, not a scratch, nothing. I mean, it is just really an incredible little piece that I just can't believe. If there is even a mark that got there, it wipes off real quick with a nice wet rag or some mild detergent. We're going to take a trip upstairs. The carpet has been replaced. This was new carpet put in while we were here working on all this. As soon as they got the carpet laid in, we started laying in all our baseboards and door casings and so forth. And again, you can just see more of our work with the casings where we couldn't do the 3/4 inch reveal on this side. We had to just go flush to the wall. But it looks very nice, and it transitions really well. We did have some minor problems with these doors. We were trying to get them painted during some of the colder temperatures, and we have some areas here we're going to have to just fix up, but that should be a relatively easy fix for us once we make the return trip here in a couple of days. Again, we had a very similar issue with this window up here. We had to extend it out to make the casings look good around that window, but that looks very nice the way we did that. And really kind of the same thing throughout the house, just a bunch of new doors, casings, the larger headers that we did, or top pieces. We actually took the same baseboard that we're using here, which is 5.5 inches wide, and we changed it into a 4.5 inch piece, and it looks a lot nicer. It's not as large, but it gives a nice definition to the door frames, and again brings a very contemporary look. And that's just more of the railing that we had to deal with, and trying to deal with protecting all this stuff down here was not really easy. And to be honest with you, we did get a lot of dust that came out of the spraying process, but we did get it all cleaned up for the customer, and no damage was done. It just was very difficult to try to, go all the way from this ceiling all the way to the floor to try to tent this off. So and doing these by hand just never looks that great. No matter what you do with brush marks and roller marks, it's still too tough to really try to do it by hand. We have basically 3 other bedrooms or / office, and again we've done the same thing here with casings. We had some what we call bypass doors. We did those, and it was the same thing where this was oak trim all around these areas here, and we sanded that down, reprimed it real heavy, and actually it's been coated twice at least with paint, and again rehung the doors, had those cut to size, etc. So again, just keep moving on through the house. You're probably bored by now, but generally this is the same idea, throughout the entire house. All new baseboards, including the closets, of course, and they've all been painted with that Scuff-X material. And this is the kids' room here. Pretty bright green wall there. That'll wake you up in the morning. So that's it. This is again Cowboy Jim, AAA Painting. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed my video here, and we look forward to working with you in the future.